Hello.
Hi, Krisha. Happy Friday.
Hi, happy Friday.
You've sung that exact same note before, haven't you?
Happy Friday.
Is it a thing? Is it a real song?
No.
Oh.
It's just Happy Friday.
Well, good. Good for you for emoting.
Thank you.
I like it when you emote on the show. It's the Krisha and Frank Show. We're on all your audio podcasting things, and we're on YouTube.
We're emoting all over the place.
We're working our way toward, well, hopefully thousands and thousands of YouTube subscribers. But I've noticed that, as I mentioned yesterday, since our ads started running on WATE.com, our number of subscribers has gone up one a day.
Look, that's something.
I know.
That's something. You can find everything at KrishaandFrank.com. That's where you can find our merch. You can buy our
you can't buy the
mugs,
business
you can buy our
cards.
t-shirts.
Why would you? But you can
thank
get
you
the
to
cups.
all of our friends who have done so. Yeah.
It does look good. And in fact, I found, since tomorrow is Saturday, and we'll talk a little bit about our Seymour Smokies deal, they have put the Krisha and Frank card.
Yeah.
I think it's under Kids and Attractions, which struck me as
That's pretty typical.
odd, but it's on there.
We are childishly attractive.
And you can... they've got links to the short versions of our Seymour Smokies adventures.
Yes.
And a link to the podcast, so...
Yeah.
And on our YouTube channel is really where everything, you don't miss anything if you subscribe to us on YouTube.
Nope, you'll never miss a thing. Not a thing.
Right.
So what you been up to?
Well, I've been busy, trying to keep things going around the house. It seems like I'm going to get busier, and I got to manage my time.
Yeah.
And we were, I remember, if I go back a little bit, I was reminded that when we were cleaning up the house for Channel 6 to come over and film, actually it might have even been before that, when we were, I know what it was. It was when we started recording inside.
Right, when we moved the office in.
Yes, when we came in from the podcast porch, our executive producer,
Jere the Brave,
decided that we needed to do some straightening.
Yep.
Plus, I was getting the house financed. So we had
a lot going on.
An appraiser coming, so we had to do a lot of straightening and cleaning and things. And it seemed like everywhere we turned, we found some old palm fronds from Palm Sunday.
Okay. Which is what typically the ashes are made out of from on Ash Wednesday.
That's right. That's right. You'd burn the palms and turn them into ashes. And that's what one of our churches, that when we belonged to All Saints Parish, they would have a collection every winter. Bring us your old palms and we'll burn them and we'll make them into ashes. Well, last year with COVID, most of the places didn't distribute ashes. Didn't palms, or they did ashes, but then they didn't hand out the palms on Palm Sunday. There was one church that I read was doing it, so I went quick and got some. And then the bishop said, "No, stop it, COVID."
So not COVID.
They said, but I managed to get some last year, so my streak is still alive. But the palms that Jere and I found around the house were stuck into. Well, there was some in that pitcher over there. There was some behind that religious picture in the pitcher, like water pitcher that has straws in it, picture in the other room, and there were some, we found some in the basement, we found some upstairs. Seriously, there were probably minimum 5 years worth of palms.
Well.
But a lot of times Jere would go to multiple masses, or we'd go, because she would sing. So it's possible that some were from the same year. Anyway, what are we going to do with them?
I don't know. What do you do with them?
Well, we thought, and this was back in November-ish, right? We should burn them or save them until it's time. So I guess we decided to burn them.
Cool.
So I said, I'll take care of it. I'll put them out in the barbecue grill, so next time we have a fire, we can burn the ashes, right? Well, the next time we had the fire was this past weekend. What was that? February 20-somethingth, right? February 20th?
Yeah.
And we go out there to cook chicken, and Jere opens the barbecue smoker, and there's all this palms in there. She's like, "What are we gonna do? We can't. You were supposed to burn these separately. We can't
cook chicken and
we can't burn palms and cook chicken on the burning palms." I said, "I think we can."
You could.
I said, "We're going to. I think it'll be okay."
Yeah.
I think in the long run, if Jesus is going to get mad at us for burning the palms inappropriately, I think using them to feed and nourish the family is an acceptable.
I think so.
Acceptable method. Plus, by the time the chicken went on, by the time the sweet potatoes went into the coals, which was new, she did that for the first time.
Nice.
Oh, so good.
So good.
The palms had completely burned away. We were just down to the charcoal briquettes. But it just was weird because she hadn't looked. She didn't know that I had put so many palms out there.
All the palms.
So when you open it up, it was quite shocking to see that many. Because we're going around the house, like I said.
Did you take a picture?
I took a video.
Ooh, let me see.
Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. I'd like to hear it. Here it go.
Yeah, they're burning. You see, that's it. It's not that dramatic.
But, I mean, I think that for Jere, she was like, no.
Yeah.
That's all the palms.
So, so there they go. So that was one way to get rid of it. And I guess this Palm Sunday we'll get new ones. But try not to let them accumulate that many years in a row.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I like that you just had them in random.
Yeah, they get stuck in places.
Yeah.
Because you bring them home and you stick them, behind a picture on the wall, or you stick them in a vase, or you stick them somewhere.
I have a lot.
Some of them got moved downstairs with the Easter decorations, and then when we found them, when we were doing. It was back in November, so we were setting up for the Thanksgiving episode.
Well, I have a lot of dead flowers. I think I sent you a picture. We've talked about it before.
I found a dead bouquet of roses downstairs. I was thinking it would be funny if we ever did like an Addams Family themed show. Yeah. Which for Halloween, I put this dozen dead roses on the table.
I keep the dead flowers in my house.
Do you want them?
I decorate my house with dead flowers. I don't know why, they're kind of pretty.
They are in a weird Morticia Addams kind of way.
Yeah. That's who I'm aiming for. Going into later life on this downhill track, I'm just gonna Morticia Addams it up.
Morticia was hot.
Yeah.
I mean, Lily Munster was okay, and the Von de Carlo is a very beautiful woman. But if you get right down to it, Lily was pretty, Morticia was hot.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, Carolyn Jones?
It's like, Carol was pretty, Morticia, hot.
In fact, it's very troubling. There's an episode of the Addams Family that, for whatever reason, I've watched multiple times. It's because maybe when I go to find it online, I always end up at this flashback episode to how Gomez and Morticia met.
Oh.
And I don't like it for two reasons. Number one, Carolyn Jones plays I think it's Ophelia, who Gomez is supposed to marry. And she's just a selfish, self-absorbed, terrible character. That's the point. And then there's sweet Morticia, who is dressed exactly the same as Wednesday with the braids and the dress.
Oh,
and it's kind of like...
weird. That's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
But she did have great clothes, great costumes, great clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just acquired a bunch of new old costumes.
One of them is quite spectacular, that red ball gown, and I was with you at the costume sale, and you held it up, and you said, I am buying this one.
I am buying this one.
Because it fit you.
Yes.
In fact, it was purchased for you. It
was purchased for me, and I ended up not wearing it, and so I purchased it back.
Well, that's awesome. We were at Sweet Fanny Adams, which is now closed. I guess New Year's Eve, you performed in the final show. You were in the cast many times.
Yeah.
And it's sad. So now they're selling off 40 plus years of props and costumes.
Yeah, there's a couple days left. Let's talk about Steve's, and then I can tell you about the coolness that I found while setting up for this sale.
Because I came trying to I want to tell about how I went there with the full intention of buying a costume for myself.
Yeah, you did.
So we'll tell about that. But Steve's Tree Service has been a wonderful sponsor of ours.
And you didn't have to burn anything when Steve cut all your trees down.
Yeah, they just hauled it away.
That was really nice.
Carted it off for me.
That's actually one of the best parts about Steve's Tree Service is they will actually take away what they cut down. And it's part of their estimate. It's not on top of.
Yeah. They tell you up front everything they're going to do, and then they just go ahead and do it. And that's pretty awesome stuff. Of course, I'm impressed. I think I mentioned this last week, how they didn't have to tear down my back fence in order to remove the trees.
Yeah, because the two other people that you had talked to about doing it were like, nope, got to take your fence down.
We're going to knock down your... We'll put it back, but we're going to tear it down, and then so we can just drag the logs this way. Like, I don't want the logs going that way.
I don't want them that way.
I want you to go around the long way. And that was exactly what Steve and Renee said. Well, of course you go around the long way. What we'll do is we'll come in and we'll remove these weeds, clear ourselves a path to get the trees out. Duh.
And it was awesome.
So I'm very happy with the service, and you should call Steve's Tree Service no matter where you are in East Tennessee, because it's that time of year when you start looking and realizing, I got problem trees.
Yep. And it really is. And right now the wind, like
remember
the way
when
the
we drove
spring weather's coming in
to Gatlinburg and we noticed all the trees that had fallen from the wet ground and the wind? Mm-hmm. That's a recipe for tree disaster.
That's a recipe for tree disaster. That's a recipe for tree disaster. Call Steve.
865.
Have you been injured in?
We probably get one of those lawyers to buy ads on our show. You know? I think so.
I'm sure I'll probably need one eventually.
All right. 865-257-6214 for Steve's tree service. Seriously, one of those lawyers would get, they probably would advertise.
Right. And you can find them on Facebook as well. And typically you can also find them on our Facebook page because Steve always likes to comment and he's so great about it.
We do appreciate it. So thank you, Steve and Renee.
Yeah.
Awesome job.
So you did come visit this past weekend at Sweet Fanny Adams Theatre, which today is Friday, so the sale goes on till 6 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow from 9 to 6, and then
a
it's
break.
done.
Oh, it's done?
It's done. They're done.
Oh, wow. Well, I noticed that a lot of costumes were moving, even the first couple of days.
Man.
You had people coming in. You said someone from one of the other attractions in town came and bought hundreds of dollars worth of
stuff, and a lot of Ren Fair people came.
Genius.
And, yes. I mean, it's ridiculous if you have any even tiny inkling that you might be doing a show or performing in the next forever, because everything there is one of a kind. I mean, you saw...
Well, I was trying to on the tuxedos because I wanted something that wasn't one of a kind,
right.
But they're all styled and fitted for the actor who wore the tuxedo. Right. And these were all the cutaway waistcoat and tail type, the really, high end.
They're really nice.
Tuxedos, and they're good stuff. But man, actors are skinny. I mean, skinny.
I think, and the funny thing is a lot of women wore tuxedos too. Like I was showing you the tuxedo top that I love so much.
Krisha holds it up and says, I didn't wear any pants with this.
Well, we didn't. We wore...
Jere and I are back there. Of course we know this, but it just sounds funny when you say it.
Like, I don't wear any pants with this. Because you wear the black dance pants and fishnets and boots, and that was the costume.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like...
Because you got to do the kick and the legs and the thing.
That's the whole point. But
I could not fit into any of those tuxedos.
But you did fit into some suits. Like your Harold Hill...
Oh, all right. So
look.
Krisha thinks it's funny. She says he's been sending me pictures all week of this. Hey, look, here's another incredibly loud jacket.
Sparkly sequin jacket.
What did I send you? Marvin Acme from, remember Roger Rabbit? The kind of stuff he would wear. The stuff Haywood Hill Brune, who you probably don't know who that is. Or Lindsay Nelson. These are sportscasters.
Yeah,
who would
who
wear
they are.
super loud sport coats on TV.
Oh, and you fit into so many of them. And
I will never ever show you the picture of me wearing a loud plaid sport coat. Because I don't have it. It's on the wall.
I have pictures of you in my phone of you wearing a loud plaid sport coat.
Let's see.
And here's your band leader. It's so good. And you might have it. You might own it now. Just saying.
Well, my birthday's not till June.
We're not waiting till your birthday.
Well, if you bought it for me, that's very sweet. I didn't think I could afford it because it was reversible, which is odd.
Yes.
And I guess I did look kind of...
Well, you know how, like, as the sale goes on,
that's
you
true.
start liquidating
I was there on the
things.
first day.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the first price of it. And I thought, well, I would love to pretend I'm a ringleader in the circus. Because in all the things in the circus...
Yeah, that's the best.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you were going to say, because, most people, when you see the circus, you want to be maybe the lion tamer.
Yeah.
Or you want to be the acrobat. I could see you...
I would love to be a trapeze. I've always wanted to do trapeze.
That's what I would picture you. Much like when you ice skate around and dance around, you would I picture you in that. I would picture me in the job with the least movement.
But the most boisterous and the ringleader.
And when I used to go to the circus as a child, the ringleader didn't have to sing. In later years, the ringleader became like a Dixie Stampede guy.
Yeah.
Where he had to sing, the greatest show on earth, and then have a whole song about elephants.
I know. I always thought, like when Ringling Brothers started doing the ringleader that would sing, it was always a little much. Riding out on a chariot in the middle of okay.
So when I was a kid, I could do the impression of it. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls and children of all wages. This is Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Do you remember Gunther Gable Williams?
Yes, I've sort of met him.
That was when I first remember. I think we've talked about this before.
The time I rode elephants.
I remember going. Yeah, we did. But I remember going to the circus and Gunther Gable Williams, the lion tamer, was on. I got the spinny globe light thing. My parents probably paid $1,000 for it.
Oh, yeah, he was the best. He was the superstar of the circus. And I got to ride elephants twice through D.C. And remember, there's two versions of the circus. There's like the red and the blue, they call them. And on the whichever one Gunther was in, so I rode the elephant 2 years in a row. Whichever year was Gunther's year, he was just there incognito, guiding the elephants and kind of in charge of all the other trainers.
That's so cool.
And getting us to ride these elephants from the White House to the Capitol.
Yeah. That's so cool.
And I recognized him because being a circus geek, I would go every year from when I was a kid.
So I'm rifling through a bunch of things at the theater.
More circus costumes?
Tons of them, and I think I was so excited to show you and Jere the Ice Capades outfit.
Yes, I would have settled for any kind of capade.
They had like stuff from Vegas shows that had closed.
And this is the founders of Sweet Fanny.
Yes.
Which is Pat and
Don McPherson. Yeah.
Before they came to Gatlinburg. So over 40 years ago, 45 plus years ago.
Pat used to perform in Las Vegas, and they put on Once Upon a Mattress in Vegas. And the pink jacket, I think I showed Jere. I don't know if I showed you. There's a velvet pink jacket that's just beautifully opulent. They had every single costume from Once Upon a Mattress in Vegas, which was probably in the 60s.
Wow.
And it was so cool.
And that's when the Ice Capades had closed in Vegas, so Pat buys up all the old Capades costumes. And they stayed in storage now for 40 years? Or did you ever use them?
Some of them were used. There was this dress that I wore was an Ice Capades dress.
Oh.
So in that dress, people would ice skate on ice, which was just like mind-boggling.
And then you showed me this jumpsuit type of thing that looks like ski pants almost.
Yeah.
But it reminded me exactly of like I'll say frick and frack because they were before my time. But I mentioned to you the story of how when I first moved to town, the general manager refused to call the show Phil and Frank because it sounded too much to him.
Frick and frack.
Like frick and frack. I'm like, I've heard of frick and frack, but I had to look up who they were.
Right.
They were in the Ice Capades in like the 40s.
Yeah.
Like 1940s.
And isn't it weird, like the cultural that just stays there, like frickin' frack.
Yeah.
Like, it's in my brain, and I know it.
Yeah, you couldn't picture them. If I showed you a picture of 4 teams of ice skaters, you would have no idea which one is which.
I would have no idea.
But the names you would know.
Associate. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool,
and sad a little bit. Because I mean that's their lives, It's time to close up shop.
Yeah.
It's not just closing day for the season. It's closing day for the theater.
Yeah, it was a really heavy. It's been really heavy, and actually, I've been helping because they've been open all week selling stuff, and it's, the thing though is when people love something so much like that, the days where people who have been fans of the theater for years, people who have been fans of the theater just for a year, were stopping in and buying little.
That's cool.
Buying little things to take, like.
That feels like the memory lives on then. When people who are buying it are fans.
Right.
That's really sweet. Now, it's also, you can make an argument the other side of it, that when the high school theater coach, director, whomever, or the opera whomever shows up and buys these costumes knowing that they're going to be completely repurposed, probably altered, changed around, but the costume will live on to perform again.
Yeah.
So that's in a different way. It's also cool.
Yeah.
And one is to keep the memory, one is to change the memory.
There were people who were coming and buying costumes and 2 hours later posting it on Facebook. Like, look at this! And it's a really, if those costumes end up at Ren fairs and altered and changed, but still like that, like we were telling people, you better clean them because they still got sweat in them.
Well, there was Jere and I both came home with watery eyes, not from tears because I don't have emotions, but because we were digging and rifling through stuff that had been in storage for 40 years. There's a little bit of dust in there.
Oh yeah, no, I had to take a Benadryl because I'm like, oh god, but
I thought it was my cheap face mask was making it hard for me to breathe, but I think it was. Well, it wasn't protecting me, is what it was.
I bought some signs and I bought 2 signs.
Oh, thank you, Ace of Base. What did you buy?
I bought the sign. I hung it in my bedroom. I actually bought a lot. I bought a sign that said virtue,
Okay.
and I put it in my bathroom. Because if you're going to be virtuous,
I thought that's where you're going to put the "Please wait to be seated."
I put please wait to be seated in my kitchen, and because it was the 2 signs that live above the doors. Please wait to be seated, and please no video. I put please no video in my bedroom. Isn't this funny?
Yeah, that's good.
I like it. But
Well, if you want to check and see if Sweet Fanny has any costumes left,
Yeah.
and maybe you could head up there today or tomorrow, but it's pretty much done.
there are costumes left.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
well, that's because there were so many.
There are costumes left.
All right.
Yeah. If you need a petticoat,
I don't.
oh, well,
Unless I was thinking about Petticoat Junction. I don't know what I would do with a petticoat.
yeah, go check them out and just shoot them some love because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, thanks so
Well-
much for watching. Do check back tomorrow for whatever our Seymour Smokies adventure is.
Yeah. It's fun. We had a great time
Know that I'll be editing it until midnight tonight.
tonight.
And that decides which of the ones we'll
Yeah.
post. Because
Yeah.
I've got a couple in the can that I'm working on, and whichever one gets finished first is the one that gets posted tomorrow.
And we hope you enjoy it because we sure did.
Do go to audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank and sign up for the free 30-day trial. It helps our podcast because we got the affiliate marketing deal, and you get a free download during those 30 days. And then after that, you can become a member like Krisha and listen to so many different things, books and podcasts and comedians and
Yeah.
what have you.
Yeah. And KrishaandFrank.com for all the links, for all the things, and the merch, and the merch.
Hello, hello, hello. Mwah. All right. It's Friday. It's Friday. I'm trying to copy you. Is that a real song now? Okay. Thanks for watching.
Okay, bye.
Bye.